TLC, no scrubs. Don't be a scrub, hit that sub. Lots of videos coming out. You don't want to miss them. Alright, let's get into some details for this song. To start out, we'll be in a drop D tuning. D, A, D, G, B, E. Helps because we're going to need some low E flat action here. And we'll kick it off with this intro verse, just main progression here. And it's just arpeggiated, our acoustic vibe going on. It starts with the C sharp minor chord. So just 4A, 6 on the D and G with the 5 on the B. All right, we're just going to pick right down through it. A, D, G, B string. Then I'm going to move to an A flat minor, and we can get that pretty easy this way by just doing 6s on the D, A, D, and an 8 on the G. Pick that just the same way, right down through it. Okay, and now we drop to our E flat, and this is an E flat 7 that we're going to do, and we just do 1s on the D, A, D. And then we skip a string, skip that G, and then come up and hit the 2 on the B. And then we just move right back to our A flat minor chord of the 6s with the 8. And then there's just a fun little riff that you can do after you do like the main progression about 4 times or so. After we drop down to our E flat, instead of coming back and just picking through that A flat minor, instead we can drop down and do this little riff here on the E and the B string where we go 2 to open on the E, and then on the B we go 4 to 4. Just a fun little way to cap it off. Once the chorus gets going, we get kind of some strings that come in, and they just kind of do these interesting kind of swelling chords that reflect basically what we're doing with the guitar. And basically we're just going to hit this C sharp minor chord just as usual, and then just at the last beat of that measure we come over and hit that A flat minor, and when we hit it we just hit it and rest. Okay, and then just rest for the following measure, and the third measure we hit our E flat 7, and we want to do this voicing here where it's kind of like we do at E7, but we just drop it a fret. And we're at 6 on the A, 5 D, 6 on the G, 4 on the B. And then we just come right back to our A flat minor. For the bridge, we get into some real fun arpeggiated chords here. We come on up and we do this E suspended second, which would just be 7A, 9 on the D and G with the 7 on the B. Then we're going to come over and hit a 9 on the B. Come back up, hit that 7 bass note on the A there. And then a 9 on the low D. Just a couple little transitional bass notes. To our next chord, which will be an E flat with the flat 9. And this will be interesting picking here where we'll hit the 6A, 8 on the D, hit the open G, and then land on the 9 of the G. Okay, fun little trick there. Okay, and then we just do a scaling up bass note here where we go low D, 1 to 5, and then we land on our 6 for our A flat minor from the previous section. Pick through it just like we usually did. And now we're going to do this descending chromatic minor 7 shape here. Well, we'll start at the A flat minor 7, which is basically just 6 on the low D and A, and then 4s on the middle D, G, and B. Nice jazzy thing. And we're just chromatically going down. We're going the 6s and 4s to 5s and 3s for the G minor 7. One more to the 4s and 2s for the G flat minor 7. And at this point, we just strum that fully all the way down to that 2 on the high E. And that can be the first note of the fun little, riff at the end. Continuing with the second part of the bridge, kind of starts the same way with the E suspended second at the 7 9s with the 7B there. Move to a new chord, this is like a G augmented, where we'll go 10A, 9D, 8s on the D and G. Hit a little bass note there at the 8 of the low D. And if you want to leave that out, it's fine. I just think it sounds nice to include it. And that leads us into our A flat suspended second, which is just the same shape we had for the E, but we just bump it all the way up to the 11A, 13 D and G, and 11 on the B. Alright, and then we're just gonna, from there, pick that, and that's about, half a measure there. We drop down to A flat suspended with a flat 6 is what it is, but it's just basically 11s on the A and D. It's kind of that same shape we had for the minor 7s, just here now. We'll be at 11 on the A and D, and then 9s on the G and the B. Okay, land on the E again, and with this we're going to go with the 7, A, 9 on the D and G, skip that B string, come up and hit the 7 on the high E. And then just cap it off with our little riff. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.